What if I told you that your child could be going through one of the hardest experiences of their life, and you might never know? Not because they don't trust you, not because they don't need your help, but because they're afraid. Every day, millions of children walk into school carrying an invisible burden. They smile in front of teachers, laugh around classmates, and come home pretending everything is okay. Then, when you ask, "How was school today?" they quietly answer, "Fine." But sometimes, nothing is fine. Today, we're going to talk about 7 warning signs that your child may be experiencing bullying without telling anyone. Recognizing these signs early could make all the difference in helping your child feel safe, supported, and confident again.
One of the biggest questions parents ask is, if my child was being bullied, why wouldn't they tell me? The answer is often much more complicated than people think. Some children are embarrassed. Some worry they'll be blamed. Others fear the bullying will become even worse if an adult gets involved. And many simply don't want their parents to worry. Over time, they begin pretending everything is okay, even when they're hurting inside. That's why parents can't rely only on what their children say. They also need to pay attention to changes in behavior. Often, those changes are the first signs that something isn't right. Let's look at the first warning sign. Has your child suddenly started complaining about school? Maybe they ask to stay home more often. They miss the bus. They move slowly while getting ready. Or they frequently complain of feeling sick every school morning. At first, many parents assume they're simply trying to avoid homework or a test. But sometimes, they're trying to avoid someone. For a child who is being bullied, school can feel frightening instead of exciting. Imagine waking up every morning knowing someone may laugh at you, insult you, or make you feel alone. Anyone would want to avoid that situation. Instead of becoming frustrated, ask calm, open-ended questions. Like, has anything happened at school that's making you uncomfortable lately? Creating a safe conversation is often the first step toward helping your child open up. Stress doesn't only affect emotions, it affects the body too. Many children who are experiencing bullying begin complaining of headaches, stomach aches, or feeling sick before school. You may even take them to the doctor, only to discover nothing is physically wrong. That doesn't mean the pain isn't real. Anxiety can cause genuine physical symptoms. Pay attention to when these complaints happen. Do they appear mostly before school? Do they disappear on weekends or during school holidays? Those patterns can be an important clue that your child is dealing with emotional stress rather than illness. Sometimes a simple question, like, "I've noticed your stomach hurts before school. Is there anything worrying you?" can open a conversation your child has been afraid to start. Children occasionally lose things. That's completely normal. But if your child's lunch money, school supplies, clothing, or personal belongings keep disappearing or coming home damaged, don't ignore it. Sometimes children who are being bullied have their belongings stolen, hidden, or deliberately damaged by other students. The difficult part is that many children never explain what really happened. They're afraid of getting someone into trouble, or they're worried it will happen again if they tell an adult. Instead of saying, "How did you lose this again?" try asking, "I've noticed a few of your things have gone missing lately. Has something happened at school?" A calm question can reveal far more than frustration ever will. Children naturally want to feel accepted and included. So if your child suddenly stops talking about friends, stops receiving birthday invitations, lunch alone, or avoids activities they once loved, it's worth paying attention. Bullying often causes children to become isolated. Classmates stop talking to them because they're afraid of becoming targets themselves. Other times, the child withdraws because they feel embarrassed or believe nobody wants to be around. Ask simple questions like, "Who did you spend time with at lunch today?" Or "Who do you enjoy playing with at school?" These gentle conversations, children feel safe to open up when they're ready. Has your happy, confident child suddenly become quiet? Do they seem anxious, withdrawn, or unusually emotional after school? These changes are often one of the clearest signs something is wrong. Bullying doesn't always leave physical marks. Instead, it changes how children feel about themselves. You may notice they no longer enjoy their favorite hobbies. They spend more time alone or they become upset over things that never bothered them before. Today, bullying doesn't always happen face to face. Cruel messages, group chats, and social media can follow children home, making them feel like there's no safe place to escape. If you've noticed these emotional changes, don't assume it's just a phase. Instead, remind your child that you're always available to listen without judging them. Bullying doesn't only affect a child's emotions. It can affect nearly every part of their daily life. You may notice your child having trouble sleeping. They wake up during the night. They have nightmares. Or they suddenly don't want to sleep alone anymore. Some children lose their appetite. Others come home extremely hungry because they were too anxious to eat lunch at school. School performance can also begin to change. Grades start dropping. Homework becomes difficult. Teachers mention they seem distracted or less engaged in class. This doesn't always mean your child has become lazy. Sometimes they're simply carrying so much emotional stress that it's difficult to focus on learning. If you've noticed changes in your child's sleep, eating habits, and school performance, all happening together, don't ignore them. Take time to understand what may be causing those changes. Perhaps the most heartbreaking sign of bullying is watching your child's confidence slowly disappear. A child who once believed in themselves may suddenly begin saying things like, "Nobody likes me. I'm stupid. I'm not good enough. I don't want anyone to see me." Children aren't born believing those things. Very often, those thoughts come from hearing hurtful words over and over again. As a parent, your voice becomes incredibly important. Remind your child that they are loved, that they matter, that someone else's cruel words do not define who they are. Sometimes, one caring adult can completely change how a child sees themselves. If you recognize several of these warning signs, don't panic. Instead, create a safe space where your child feels comfortable talking without fear of being judged. Listen carefully. Believe what they tell you. Work together with their teachers or school if needed. Most importantly, remind your child every single day that they are never alone. Bullying can make children question their worth, but with love, support, and the right help, they can rebuild their confidence and feel safe again. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with another parent. Together, we can help mere children feel heard, protected, and supported. Every child deserves to feel safe, respected, and loved. The smallest act of kindness can make the biggest difference. Be the person your child never has to fear talking to. Together, we can create a world where no child suffers in silence. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay compassionate, and we'll see you in the next video.